Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world. Welcome to another episode of Mondays at Microsoft, where we break down the next 2 weeks across the Microsoft world for you with a special focus on AI, modern work, and Power Platform. I'm Karuana Gatimu. I'm the principal manager of the Customer Advocacy Group, and I'm here with my awesome friend.
Heather Cook, hello. Good morning, Karuana. Hello. Yay. And I am principal manager on the MCAG team as well, coming to you from Los Angeles. So, hello.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. If you are watching on LinkedIn, you're going to get the links directly as we discuss topics. And on YouTube, we put them in the segment description right after the show. Don't forget to go and subscribe and click the bell on our community learning channel. There's so much fantastic content from Microsoft and, more importantly, our MVPs and communities, people just like you. Tutorials and all fun stuff. So let's go ahead, now that you've done that, and hop in. Customers are creating crafty ways for their folks to engage with Copilot. And I love this because there's so much going on there here with regard to creative ways to have continuous learning. It was no regular work assignment for the employees at Lumen Technologies. Their products were made up indestructible clothing for parents, an inflatable car, a dream recorder, and teams are relying on Copilot to spark some quick creativity. So this was a competition that they did. And as the clock ticked, they had to come up with a campaign in Lumen's inaugural Copilot Olympics. They use our AI-powered productivity tool to help with everything from creating images to developing product concepts. And we wanted to do something to promote creativity, and that's where Copilot comes in. And that is Darwin Hernandez. He's the senior lead marketing manager at Lumen Technologies. And he conceived and organized this competition, which I just think is brilliant. Like, learning needs to be fun, even for adults, right? And basically, a key element of Copilot is to be proactive, save time, and be efficient. And so they wanted to do it in ways that would really bring that home to their employees. The Copilot Olympics that he created eventually grew to 4 events within Hernandez's team, and then was expanded to a larger event across Lumen's Turn 50 employee marketing organization. At the larger event, teams competed to come up with new products and supporting material, and were asked to record their successful Copilot prompts for inclusion in a prompt library that other employees can use. So, get your creativity on out there. You don't have to just click, click, click through our training courses. You could instead have a really fun way, in a way that is meaningful to you and people in your environment for folks to learn. So, I'm just really excited by the Copilot Olympics competition.
Did you know Ryan Asdorian, who is our awesome Microsoft person forever and ever, and was the Seattle Blitz, I believe, as well. So he's actually over at Lumen right now. So
Oh, really? Oh, well, that's great.
Yeah, he's in this article too. So shout out to Ryan over there as well. So very cool.
That's fantastic. Well, we do good things to learn, but we also use AI to help with, court issues. And to help Taiwan's chronic shortage of healthcare workers, Shimei Medical Center developed AI co-pilots built with Microsoft's Azure OpenAI services to help overworked staff lighten their workload while ensuring patient safety. With co-pilots implemented throughout its operations, and at multiple patient touch points, medical center staff are seeing impressive results. Doctors are spending 15 minutes instead of an hour writing medical reports, and nurses can document patient information in under 5 minutes per patient instead of 10 to 20 minutes per day. Right? Pharmacists are now able to double the number of patients they see from 15 to 30 by leveraging Copilot's comprehensive clinical summaries across multiple databases. So this is, implementing AI. This is a perfect example of implementing AI in a way that actually improves the human connection. Right? That's really what it's for, is to make sure that we're spending as much time as we can with each other, and that's quality time. Having these important folks who have gone through a good deal of training, be really using the highest and best portions of their skills. So big shout out to everything that they have done there. And this is a fantastic case study. We'll continue to bring you more of these real world examples as we find them.
That's awesome. So, in other big rocks and things that are going on, we've got Xbox returning to Gamescom with about 50 titles, new ones to check out. There's also going to be an Xbox booth, including a theater, photo ops, gear store, all of that. For those who can't attend, there's going to be a live from the show floor broadcast on August 21st through the 23rd. So, also joining the Xbox booth for the first time, Blizzard Entertainment is going to make their return to Gamescom with a bunch of offerings for Diablo, World of Warcraft, and ahead of the Vessel of Hatred. What is that? Goodness. Expansion in October. Diablo will bring an exclusive public hands-on gameplay of the Spiritborn class. So Diablo, Immortal Hellquery, boss tournament, and all kinds of really cool stuff that's going to be happening over there. And the Bethesda team is also going to have daily content streaming live from the booth over on their Twitch channel, which is Twitch TV whack Bethesda_DE. So lots of cool things happening in the gaming area for sure. So yeah, it's going to be neat.
Gotta love all of that. And here's another story on some AI advancements that were happening in the medical space. So, but this is more on the research side. So, Microsoft is collaborating with Mass General Brigham and the University of Wisconsin-Madison to continue to advance AI foundational models for medical imaging. Right. And look, these things are not product announcements, but it's really important for you to get inspired about real world case studies about AI, how AI is going to land value in your organization. And so we hope that these really important examples we're sharing, right, connect the dots there, right? It's not just about the features, it's about what we do with them. And we made this announcement partnering with those folks along with UW Health to accelerate solving some of the biggest challenges in radiology and to further advance AI medical imaging. And this drives clinician efficiency and really enables better health outcomes as well. So again, creating this ecosystem on top of Microsoft Azure AI platform and extending the extending nuance capability suite of radiology applications that deliver a wide array of high value medical applications. So, this imaging, I mean, think about it. Whenever you've had to go into a hospital, especially if you have, something a little more serious done, healthcare systems, they spend an estimated $65 billion each year on imaging. 80% of all hospital and health system visits include at least one imaging exam related to more than 23,000 conditions. So, but they have challenges like the healthcare industry grapples with, including physician burnout and staff shortages. So AI is definitely coming in to help this. And it also may enhance the patient experience as well by reducing wait times. Nobody likes to wait. So another fantastic article, read up on how that's being done and think about it for yourself in terms of, this technology is going to come to you sooner or later. You're going to get to see it. And so how do you want to participate in this AI economy? And that's why some of these Microsoft 365 sessions that we have out there are so important on the Community Learning Channel, because you can learn from some of the best by taking a look at the keynotes and sessions from our recent show. And now I really think of them as deep learning materials, actually. And why don't we take a look at a little overview about everything that's on the Community Learning Channel from M365 Conference.
Keynotes and sessions from the 2024 Microsoft 365 Community Conference are on demand now. You do not want to miss this year's keynotes about the future of work with Microsoft Teams, reshaping productivity with Copilot for Microsoft 365, and delivering business value and user satisfaction in the era of AI. There are over 60 on-demand sessions from Microsoft experts, MVPs, and industry leaders, all curated for you to discover the latest innovations in AI and start building your skills on Microsoft's most important products today. Start watching keynotes and sessions on demand now on the Microsoft Community Learning Channel.
Gotta love that. Everything's out there for you on that Community Learning Channel. Just such a swanky little video, don't you think there, Heather?
Super good. Yes, absolutely. Good stuff. Hey, and were you out in the world like I was?
I
You know?
was out in the world. Oh my goodness. Huge shout out to Tom Daly and the entire organizing committee of Community Days at New York City. I got a chance to go there and soak up the fantastic energy. They had 7 tracks of content. And remember, community days are free to attendees. There was like a minimal $5 seat charge or something, but it was just such great energy. And it reminded me how much I love these local community events for learning, because you really do get a chance to really talk to people. You really get to meet other people in your local community. So if you aren't getting to some of the big shows, or even if you are, make sure you're visiting communitydays.org to find one of these local events near you, because it was just special. And I was happy to be there and give their closing keynote, but I really was just soaking up the vibe in that New York City office for sure.
That's awesome. And shout out to Tom, who keeps up that communitydays.org site for us with a bunch of other folks. So
He's
great
wonderful.
to have that be run by our community, supported by Microsoft. Love it, love it, love it. So
It's awesome, awesome stuff. And these skills that you need to learn out there, this is why the Community Skills Challenge is being extended through September 2025, because there are basic things that I bet no one ever taught you about, like the actual definition of what is Microsoft 365. Probably you should know that. But more importantly, there are power skills that you need to learn. Building tech resilience, negotiation, active listening skills. Go and take the Community Skills Challenge. Get the badge. And don't worry, we're going to be crafting another one soon near you. But go and check that out and continue your learning, even if you can't get to events. But boy, I hope to see folks out at events, because they are awesome.
yeah, very, very cool. I loved, and shout out to Chicago. Haven't been
Yes.
there the other week.
Shout out
It's
to
so good.
everybody.
Yeah, shout out to everybody, because just like we say, like, what is it, that Every Given Sunday, that movie about football, like, any given Friday or Saturday or anyway during the week, there's 2 or 3 events going on in the world about Microsoft technologies. It's just simply awesome. So so something else we were reading about, speaking of trustworthy and responsible AI, so the HLTH in Europe, through the Trustworthy and Responsible AI Network, TRAIN, which is another acronym. It's a big consortium of healthcare leaders. It announced an expansion to Europe with an objective to help organizations really operationalize responsible AI through a bunch of different new guardrails. So you've got Erasmus MC in the Netherlands, HUS Helsinki University in Finland, Sahlgrenska University in Sweden, Skåne University in Sweden as well. You've got the Vita Salute San Raffaele in Italy, and then the University Medical Center in Utrecht in the Netherlands, with Microsoft as the technology partner. So it's really cool. Another nonprofit, Foundation 29, they're an organization that's empowering patients to transform healthcare with data-driven initiatives, has also joined the European TRAIN. So the TRAIN is this Trustworthy, Responsible AI Network. And so all of these folks are getting together to really look at standards and to really look at checklists, and to figure out how to really be data driven but also be responsible at the same time. So it's really cool that the European healthcare hospitals and hospital systems are getting on together. And I think it's continuing to get different names on all the time, but it's a really cool article about that. Also, let's see, it was a year ago this last month that the term AI transformation came out from Microsoft, and it's kind of hard to believe that copilots actually were not generally available then. Now that what's kind of all we talk about, and then Azure OpenAI service had really only been available for about 6 months. So 60% of the Fortune 500 companies in the world have adopted copilots, and 65% use Azure OpenAI service. So I mean, copilots are really defining how we're using AI as humans. And this there's a article by Judson Alhoff, who is one of our corporate vice presidents and leaders. He picked out, I think, like 20 of his big stories. And so there's a bunch of customer case studies and how they're using AI and copilots to transform their businesses. And so there's one, Pacific Gas and Electric Company, PG&E. So for those that are in, the Washington State area, PG&E and California actually is the electric company. So they had a really ambitious goal to reshape their business, getting a bunch of low value tasks re-automated and then dedicating employees to really more high value work. So they said that they saved 527,000 hours and generated approximately 75 million in savings annually, which is pretty amazing. Using Copilot Studio, they also built a digital assistant that fulfills now 25 to 40% of their help desk demands, which is pretty amazing. Saving 840 hours and $1.1 million per year. So there's lots of stories in this blog that he wrote, and there's great proof points and how-tos on how folks did these sorts of things in their businesses. So really cool to see that that wealth of customer stories just a year later coming out from Judson and that team. So and I know there's some really cool things happening in the Microsoft 365 land that Karuana, they're coming out from our team and what we're doing working with some of our product teams. So Karuana, you want to talk about Microsoft Loop?
Yes, I will. We're excited to announce a new Meet the Makers learning series featuring Microsoft Loop. Meet the Makers is where you get to go behind the scenes and meet the people who are making the products. And then we do learning videos on key tasks on a particular product and end up with an AMA, but we're going to work on Microsoft Loop this time. I don't know if you know about Loop, if you have it turned on in your environment, but it is one of my new favorite parts of Microsoft 365. But before I tell you more about this series, let's take a quick peek at Microsoft Loop.
Say goodbye to the frustration of jumping between apps and losing track of documents and ideas. Microsoft Loop transforms the way you work, so you can think, plan, and create together like never before. Loop is made up of workspaces, pages, and components. Let's break it down. Create together with shared workspaces for each of your projects. On the Loop homepage, you can access all your existing workspaces and create new ones. In a Loop workspace, you can bring everything you need for your project together in one place. To kick off a workspace, Loop can even do the searching for you, making it easy to add existing project-related information and organize it into pages. Continue adding to your workspace as your project evolves and organize it the way you want. Loop pages are flexible canvases where you can react, comment, and build on each other's ideas. Notifications help you track the things you care about and focus on what matters, all while staying in the flow of your work. Copilot in Loop helps you ideate and co-create. Get inspired with AI-powered contextual suggestions to transform the way you create together. Don't let app barriers slow your project down. Easily share information with people outside your workspace with Loop components. Components are portable pieces of content that stay in sync across all the places they have been shared, no matter where they are updated. You can share components and create new ones, like lists, tables, paragraphs, and more, across your favorite Microsoft 365 apps. You're always in control because it's easy to see where components were shared and who has access. However you work, wherever you work, Loop enables teams to think, plan, and create together like never before.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh my goodness, Microsoft, why did you make another app? But I have to tell you, those portable components that they were showing that stay in sync across a Teams chat and an Outlook email and even in a document have changed the way that I collaborate with people and meet them where they really want to be. You know, not everybody has Teams as their favorite surface. Not everybody has Outlook as their favorite surface. And some people just like to think and work in documents. Now, all of that information stays in sync and I don't have to email that thing around all the time. So I encourage you to join this series. You'll get to meet the makers. Part 1 is on Wednesday, August 14th. Almost everything you need to know to start with Microsoft Loop is part 2, which will go into how to get started. Of course, we'll talk about the IT Pro capabilities as well in terms of making sure your Loop components are governed like we always talk about. You can level up your project management with Loop, meet Copilot in Loop. And then if you you haven't got all your questions answered, you can join us for an Ask Microsoft Anything on the Microsoft Tech community in their Loop environment there. And you'll get to meet more of the team and we'll answer your questions. So I love these Meet the Makers series because they really break it all down. Everything, of course, will be available on demand in case you don't watch us live. But that 5-part learning series is going to be really exciting. And I just hope that it really helps everybody to understand how important Loop is to the whole Microsoft 365 collaboration experience. It's new. There's been some folks out there I can think of in the MVP community who have been doing Loop for a long time. It's got all the features now that I need to make it a really first party portion of Microsoft 365. So join us for this awesome learning series.
That's going to be awesome. I would say the Daryl Webster. Big shout
Daryl
out.
Webster, thank you. Yes, Daryl is awesome.
Yeah.
He jumped on board of that really early, has some great videos out there as well. He's one of those trusted MVPs, and he saw the value of Loop from the get-go, and has been doing great work on that for quite some time.
Definitely. We've got some in the business applications land. We've got some great updates. Clay Wessner and team always putting out their, what's new and what's going on, their updates monthly. So there's just, a plethora of things in that blog post for sure. There was one that stuck out to me, the Latera. They have a Copilot connector that provides accessibility to a legal firm's intellectual knowledge. And so this wonderful connector for Copilot enables legal professionals to execute the complex natural language searches for legal matters and also precedent content from any Copilot-enabled application. So getting matters in precedent detail without having to do a bunch of complex searches. And time is money, right? And so especially in the legal game, and having access to cases and matters and all of that is super important. And the quickness that you can do it in, right? Sometimes that's really, really important. And also it's able to, teach somebody, potentially, say you have a junior associate putting together a first draft of something, that insight and quickness that they can do it in using Copilot is just amazing. And so really excited about this new connector. I think when I started working in the Power Platform space 3 or 4 years ago, I think I saw Charles Lamana on stage at a, Microsoft Garage with Jeremy Chapman, and there was 500 connectors, and there's close to 2,000, I think now. It's just unbelievable, the growth there with all the different connectors now, especially with Copilot. So that's really cool. Another highlight I wanted to give in the Fabric world, Microsoft Fabric, a big shout out to Ree Merritt, who is one of our community lead folks on Microsoft, and she leads the MVP team and a lot of the community motions over there. She's a good friend. She has created, along with a couple other folks on her team, this Fabric Influencer Spotlight. And so it's a reoccurring monthly post shining a light on the MVPs and Fabric super users who are doing amazing work on Microsoft Fabric. So it's a blog post, videos, presentations, anything related to Microsoft Fabric. They cultivate these submissions and then they put them up. And for those of you who don't know what a Microsoft MVP is, they are technology experts who have a deep knowledge of our products. They bring platforms, products, and solutions together to solve real world problems. And they are nominated either by another MVP or by one of us who's a full-time person at Microsoft. And they're just awesome. And then super users are folks who love answering questions in our forums, in our community platform forums. And so they're key contributors to our Fabric and every product that we have across Microsoft. So Thomas LaRock has a blog up there, Maria Zakoradev. We also have John Seville who's up there. There's a ton. So I'd mentioned a few, but definitely go check that out. It's a very cool thing that they're doing over there in the Fabric land and world. So yay, Ree, always high five to you on all the goodness you bring. So community events, we've been talking about, being in New York City and being in Chicago. We had a bunch of stuff go on since our last Mondays at Microsoft. The Digital Workplace Conference happened in Australia that Debbie Ireland puts on. I got a lot of hellos from folks in Australia time talking about that event, which was super cool. The Tech Bahinian event in the Philippines. I know myself and Donna sent over some videos to say hi to everybody over there. And so thank you, Drizzle, for putting on that awesome event. We've got the Summit NA Roadshow, BizApps Partner Summit, the New York event we were talking about, Colombo, Community Days Monterey. All of those events just happened. And then we have a bunch of events coming up too in the next couple of weeks as well. We put all of August up so that you could see what's going on there. But VS Live is happening, another Summit NA roadshow in New York, Copenhagen, Salem. You know, the Dynamics user groups, they get together as regions, which is really cool. And then we've got Collab Days Hamburg coming up at the end of August. So again, if you're anywhere in the world, there's events that are free, there's events that are paid, there's events that are hybrid that you can check out any given time on the communitydays.org site. And if you haven't listed your event up there, please do, because we've got just so many great events there. You can become a speaker. There's call for speakers on the communitydays.org site. You can look for sponsorship opportunities if you're a partner, if you'd like to sponsor one of these events or many of these events. All of those opportunities are up there. So whether you're a first-time speaker or you like to speak in community events a lot, that's where a lot of those opportunities are sitting. We also have all of the community calls that are hosted, many by Microsoft, where we highlight different folks in the community and have demos. Vesta Jehovanen runs a lot of those meetings, and we have there's great ways to sign up, and so there's a calendar and everything. Again, Tom does a lot of the background work on all of this wonderful communitydays.org, and there's new features all the time. We meet with them often and talk about what's going on and what's being added and everything. So that's really cool. For the month of August, we're taking the month off from our Microsoft Global Community Initiative meetings, and some of the community calls are actually off for the month of August. Everybody is in sort of prep mode for the next tranche of events and big things coming up, and there's a lot of people obviously on vacation out in the world, so I'm glad people are taking time off for wellness and family and goodness and taking care of themselves. So that's what some of us are doing over here with the meetings anyway, but definitely get those events up on communitydays.org for the rest of this year, calendar year, and then into next year in 2025, because people are planning their events based on what they see on the communitydays.org. So it's like, oh, when is somebody planning their community days? And we're having those conversations in the MGCI meetings as well. So if you haven't signed up for MGCI, you can definitely do that and check out everything that's going on our awesome adopt.microsoft.com website. MGCI is up there, and you can join in those meetings, learn about when people are planning their next big events. Miami's already up there for February, Community Days Miami. That was an awesome event last February. So that event's already up there, I know. So yeah, definitely come on and list those events with us, and it'll be awesome. So yeah.
Yes, it will. That's going to be fantastic. I just love that. I love the difference in the different events as they express themselves around the world. And that's what's so powerful about community events, because they really represent that particular area. Miami's going to do it different than Chicago, than, India or some other location. So I just love that they bring that local flavor to all of those events. And if you are even remotely thinking about maybe throwing an event in the future, join MGCI, because Heather and the team and the volunteers and the board there are ready, willing, and able to help you become an awesome Community Days producer. It's a ton of fun. It is a bunch of work, but Tom and the team in New York really brought up something good. It's like, it's not all on you. It's a group of people. And that's really what makes a successful Community Days event, where there's an organizing committee. Everybody brings their super talent, and it's just so much fun. I learned so much by doing those and met so many people, Heather included, but so many people doing cool events there. So share that Microsoft community page with your colleagues, communitydays.org. And, we're going to be back. We are taking the entire month of August off. I'm taking taking a little time off, but we will be
Like-
back on August 19th for our next show. That is
Yep.
2 days before my vacation. So I'll be in a really good mood that day, and we have many things to talk about because it's summer, but geez, it seems like it's still quite busy. We don't have the summer lull that we really used to. But I'm so happy to spend this time with Heather and with all of you. All of these innovations and features and capabilities, we're going to help you stay up to date, even as we get into the fall and things start to pick up pace as we get ready for Microsoft Ignite and many of the other big, awesome shows that are coming. We'll be right here with you. So come back and join us on August 19th, and we'll see you then.
We've got one more that we need to talk about that didn't make it on the slides. You are going, a bunch of people are going to TechCon DC coming up in 2 weeks.
I am going to TechCon DC.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be a fantastic show.
Yeah.
Big shout out also to all the public sector folks. We'll have the public sector roadmap and things that are really specific to you, as well as talking about AI and how to be ready for it. I love going to TechCon DC. I go every year. It's one of my favorite things because I really am dedicated to that public sector work. So yes, and my team is coming too. So there'll be people from the team. So come on out and meet us at TechCon DC, and definitely come back to us, Heather and I, right here on August 19th, same time, same channel, all of them. And we'll see you
that
there.
time, that channel. Okay. Yeah. All right. Awesome.
Thanks, everyone. Y'all have a great day now.
Have a great day. Yay.
Bye.